So this week's episode of Recreators was good for a multitude of reasons. Obviously, the action was really good. There was a lot to really dive into. No matter who your favorite character was, they had some action and some piece of cake to deliver for you. But I have to say, this episode did a lot of interesting twists. I mean, Magane is still best girl of the series, best character, her lies. The fact that she can steal powers away from people, as we can see at the very end, she did in fact steal that spirit. Her powers are just so overpowered, and I love it because trying to go after military uniform girl, when in reality Magane is like the most powerful in this series. And the way that she can manipulate, because like from an outsider perspective, it's like, well, you know that she's a liar and she's gonna manipulate your words. But in the heat of the moment when you're fighting, like, it's easy to manipulate and she's just skilled with words. On top of the fact that once she gets a lie, she twists it and she becomes true. So, like, I love how she's that goddamn powerful. But the fact that it went the route of literally Alice, not only almost killing Mitoria, I think that's her name, but the fact that she also stabs. I wasn't expecting that, because when you're watching these kinds of series, obviously there are some exceptions, Fate Zero, things like that, but you have been kind of numb to the fact that most of the time there isn't going to be a whole lot of death. Like we saw Mamika die, but at the core you would think the good guys are going to prevail. So the fact that almost two got nearly killed, and who knows if she's gonna come out of that alive, like she has a giant ass hole in her stomach. This was interesting because at the core she was being deceived by Magane's lies and, you know, things like that. But I love how she comes to the realization that she was being played. When the first is when Soda gets pushed away and she takes the blunt of the force there, and she's like, why would she risk her life for just a normal human? And that's when she starts doubting that maybe she was being played. But then when she stabs, I was just like, okay, this girl is just, like, she realizes that she's been played all along now. But Alice, honestly, I think took the worst of it. Like, despite her not being stabbed, she was played so damn well by both Magane and Uniform Military Girl up there, that she did things that she thought she wanted to do until she realized that she was being played, and second, she never wanted to almost kill. I love it. Like, we were actually able to do a revision, because we tried it before, but in hopes to save one of our female leads, he publishes the actual image on his Twitter, and since he gets a public reception, like, oh, that looks cool, that triggers this flame armor. Like, she does this explosive flame attack, but it seems like because it was promotional and that people were only looking at it for that specific time, once people didn't care about the tweet anymore, the effect wore off and she went back to having a hole. I don't think it was just like, it's like a one-time thing. Like, I think it is because you need to have a permanent mark, and because it's not an official release, just, hey, this is what I'm going to do for the character design. Oh, that's really cool. And for 5 minutes, people are like interacting, favoriting it, retweeting it. But after people stop interacting with that tweet, it no longer is official, and the armor wears off and it goes back to before. So unless he published that and had it in a physical form, I don't think revisions are going to be permanent. But this does prove that you can do revisions on the fly as long as you have some sort of reception from the audience. That's majorly important. And I just hope she gets to a hospital in time. Like, holy hell, like, are we really gonna lose, you know? They got so many ways that they can take this, but this episode did so much. Not only was the cinematography and just the action really interesting, all the character had some sort of time to shine in it. Magane still had that smugness and the manipulation. She is so damn dangerous, especially stealing away powers. The fact that we could lose one of our female leads here, and just everything that happened with Alice, no side really is coming out of this on top here, and I need to see what happens in episode 11. Like, I mean, Magane, I love and hate her all at the same time, but she's so goddamn good. I just think it was really interesting how they handle this, and my favorite part is the revision, the in-the-moment revision, publishing a tweet, and just seeing that you can do it, but once the audience loses traction, once it stops getting favorited, once it stops getting retweeted, unless it's an official publication, people are going to forget about it, and then that change is going to wear off. So that's going to be interesting going forward with the second half of the series. How is this going to play a factor? Are they going to start doing revisions on the fly and just kind of have like non-stop, like I wonder, could they use a bot account? Like, because you can buy bots for like Twitter and like any like social media site. So in theory, could they make a revision and just have non-stop bots favorite and retweet it? Would that count, or would that just be like a loophole? Like, I feel like that could be a loophole that would be interesting if they touched upon. I know they won't, but that would be really interesting because from what we understand, it was the interaction. So if you, like, do we have to have real human interactions, or could we have bot interactions? I mean, that's something for another day, I guess. But this episode at the core, it was damn fun. Lots of action, lots of blood, and just who's gonna come out of this alive? I have no idea. I'm dying to see what happens, and dying to see what Magane's gonna do with her stolen power. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you expect any of this? Because I absolutely did not. I love how Alice got manipulated into doing this, and then by the time she realizes that it was a mistake, it's too late. Let me know your thoughts and your favorite moment down in the comment section below. And before you leave, smack that like button to show your support. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, everyone, please take care and have a good one.